Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. As always, we want to take a look at the Cardano price. I know that you appreciate these update videos, so we're going to take a closer look at it. It's looking pretty good, I think, at the moment. And then also Bitcoin. And why do we look at Bitcoin? Well, we look at Bitcoin also because normally Cardano and Bitcoin are correlated to a certain extent. You can see that on this chart here, and I'll make it a little bit larger, which shows the Cardano and Bitcoin correlation. And we can see that normally we're at a 0.7, 0.8 level. I mean, it's moving up and down a little bit, but most of the time, I would say 60-70% of the time, maybe even 75%, we are sort of at this 0.8 level, which closer to 1 suggests a close relationship to Bitcoin. When it drops below 0, it is a inverse relationship to Bitcoin. And we can see that there are always periods when Cardano does differently than Bitcoin. So the correlation is definitely there, but it's not that, 100% as we can see it on some other cryptocurrencies. At the moment, we are again closer to the 0.8 again, but we need to see what is going to happen going forward. I believe that won't hold very long because at the moment we are slightly moving away from the Bitcoin price, and that is really good. So whereas all the other cryptos or most other cryptos are really not doing that well, Cardano, or at least Bitcoin and Ethereum, aren't doing that well because some others are now starting to do well as well. But yeah, Cardano is one of the few in the top 10 that is really showing really good performance, together with Solana in the top 10. Yeah. Well, as always, we are taking a look at Bitcoin first. So let's take a look, and it's playing really out as we called it on this channel. First call we made was this ascending wedge, which I said is a bearish pattern, even though it's never 100% clear because you've got these bullish moves to the upside. But then on the other hand, it is losing steam, and it has broken out to the downside now. So I guess we could call it invalidated, but I still leave it. Well, not invalidated because it has played out. I'll still leave it on the chart for now because it can always happen that if there should be a jump to the upside, that will move back into this ascending wedge. But it has sort of moved over now into a new pattern, and I started to call that yesterday before we again saw a breakout happen, and not a major breakout to be fair, but I also said we might not see a major breakout because the next support level is quite close, which is the 20-day moving average here, and it seems to be the case that this acts as support level at the moment. So that is really positive. But this broadening triangle, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I said that the new pattern that is forming is something like a broadening triangle. It normally touches 3 times at the top and down here, and then there is normally a breakout to the downside. It is a bearish pattern, and while these patterns not always play out, there is sometimes something like a 70 to 75% accuracy, especially with a broadening triangle or ascending wedge. The reason is that they never 100% play out, but if you are in financial markets, if you are better than 50%, that's actually quite good, because then at least you can make gains and you can outperform the market. But yeah, we called it, looks good. The candle, it has not closed underneath it, so it's looking like that at the moment, that we've broken out to the downside. This needs to be confirmed when this candle closes on the daily, and ideally we move back in, because then we are back in the game. But now we've actually moved out of basically 2 of the bearish patterns. 2 bearish patterns have formed. We moved out. Now actually, at the moment I can't see a new pattern forming, so we need to wait what's going to happen. What I can tell you is that this 20-day moving average luckily is very close and providing some support. And I also say that hopefully we can move back into this ascending wedge and into the broadening triangle. We need to see. Currently it's looking like Bitcoin, at least on the daily, losing a bit of steam. The RSI, the volume isn't really going up, it's actually going down. That's what we normally can see when these bearish moves play out. Also, the MACD has just made this bearish cross, unfortunately, on the daily at least. So shorter, as said yesterday as well, it could be that for the next few days we're just doing sideways moves. This might move to the downside, and then because the moving average is quite close, we now might move sideways on Bitcoin for a few days, maybe even a week. And this is the Chaikin money flow showing less buying pressure. Right, let's take a look at the weekly maybe first, because that looks more bullish if you've just seen that and think, oh, he's talking rubbish. But the 50-day, the weekly for Bitcoin, which is sort of the longer term trend, then it's showing actually a positive. The indicators, oscillators are showing slightly more positive. You can see that this MACD is about to make a positive upswing, something like a golden cross or a bullish cross. So we need to wait for that. I don't think it's there yet. It's just touching. This one line is touching, and then we are about to move into the green area here, which always indicates price moves. Last time that happened, we moved to an all-time high. So that's good. And yeah, volume dropping at the moment. The RSI above 50 still indicating bullish momentum, even though it's dropping now a little bit. But again, if the RSI is dropping a little bit, it means also if we are still above 50, it means there is scope to the upside. So that's good. Let's take a look at Cardano, what everybody's been waiting for. Looks like this move is playing out that we called. We said there could be a bullish flag forming, which basically means you have this flagpole, then you have an area of consolidation in a channel, which is what happened. Then we said it wouldn't, with a bullish flag, it shouldn't go down below the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, which it didn't. It bounced off. We now see this move to the upside, back over $2, important support and resistance level. So it seems to be playing out. I also said that this flagpole normally is added to the top or the bottom of this channel then, depending on how risk averse you are. If you're a conservative trader, you would normally add the length of that pole to the lower end and then to here, and then we'll end up at somewhere at around 250, which is the next price target then, according to that pattern. You know, these never 100% play out. But what we can see now, we have had that huge pump here. We haven't really seen major volume with that pump. Well, we actually have, was a good, no, it wasn't, no, it was, yeah, volume was good. The MACD is showing positive as well on the daily, which makes me think it is realistic that this could play really out. And the Chaikin money flow indicating the buying pressure is on a high level as well, looking all bullish for Cardano. And while many people say, you know, Bitcoin is always doing what, or Cardano is always doing what Bitcoin is doing, well, not at the moment, because that is when you have strong indicators, or you have a combination maybe of patterns, you have the strong indicators and the fundamentals like the Cardano Alonzo hard fork coming, that this might play out, even if Bitcoin might move sideways. I mean, we've had that before, and then people get a bit frustrated with Bitcoin, and money is then flowing into Cardano. Now, I just open another picture for you just to show you how this could play out. So just to show you again, like textbook style, this bullish flag, how that could look. It's a trend continuation pattern. Now we called it pretty much. I mean, these never look like in a textbook, but it is pretty similar. How could that turn out in reality? Now you can see that here, that they never really 100% look like on the textbook picture. So we've had that flagpole here. We can see that on the Cardano chart here. Then we can see that channel down here. We've got the channel here, and now we are pretty much in the move to the upside. So it makes me very bullish. You can see that this doesn't go up like crazy. This can go up to the upper end of the channel, which it pretty much did. Now we're at the next candle and see what can happen. We could now retest, and I think we did that. We retested the top of this, I'll probably see that on the 4-hour in a minute, the top of this channel, and now we have the next candle, and it might lead us to the new all-time high. Whoops, and you can see that here, that it's then climbing up in a slightly, less steep fashion than the flagpole. And what we need to say, the flagpole that we saw on Cardano was really exceptionally steep. So I wouldn't mind if it goes a bit slower, maybe with a small correction here and there. And you can also see that on this chart here, that pretty much the length of the flagpole was actually added to the top of that channel. and really nicely played out. So if that will play out as we said, we should end up at somewhere 250 above the all-time high or around the all-time high. So this move could really take us to the all-time high. I called for a small correction for a while on this channel, and it did happen. Also, the bullish flag seems to be playing out. The next few hours or days will show if that is playing out, but this will probably not happen in just a couple of days. As you can see also on this one here, that were probably a few days here, depending on what time frame that was. I mean, you can find these flags or generally patterns on daily charts, weekly charts, and 4-hour charts, and even any time frame. If we take a look at the 4-hour, we can see if this channel was actually tested. We've moved above it. It's not that clear on this 4-hour one. I would need to move things slightly. But yeah, we've got that channel here. Yeah, I need to extend that a little bit. But anyway, we have broken out to the upside of that channel. And yeah, we've actually have not really retested that. We have had one red candle here, and we've actually moved above the 20-day moving average again. And we've actually retested that. Positive confirmation. That is now support level again. Looking all really good, guys. It all looks really good. What happens today? Well, I can expect prices trading at least above the 210 level or above the 208, because we have now tested the 20-day moving average. If nothing really bad happens on the Bitcoin side, we should stay above that. And why do I say that? Because on the 4-hour, the MACD is making a positive move, bullish cross, and the MACD is looking not too bad as well, not overbought, as you can see here. And also we are now above the 20-day moving average, which has actually provided support for Cardano for a long time now. And I showed you that in previous videos. It was really many weeks. So I was a bit negative when we actually moved down below the 20-day moving average yesterday, even touched the 50-day moving average, which then provided more support. Now, however, we have conquered the 20-day moving average again, and seems like we will be trading above that. So what happens now? We could be trading between the 225 level that we didn't manage to break through before, which is the top of this Fibonacci retracement line, and the pretty much between 210 and 225. That will be exciting. So I can't really see another pattern forming here at the moment. Let me see. There is something we could call out. By the way, what we can see here as well, and that's very interesting, while we had that channel on the daily, and even though here on the 4-hour it also looks like a channel, I just need to adjust this properly. Give me a second. But what we can also see that sometimes you have a pattern within a pattern. So what we can see here actually, and this looks to me like a double top, and then you come to the neckline here. There was a bit of battling around the support level, which was also this one of the Fibonacci lines here, Fibonacci retracement lines, and the double top is again a bearish pattern. So it played out because we went below the neckline in a corrective move, but we touched the downside of this channel and then broke above it. So bullish flag move playing out on the higher time frame, and on the lower time frame here we saw this double top. So within that channel, within that bull flag, we had that double top, and yeah, we broke through. So nice, very interesting how these things play out. That's really everything I wanted to show you. Nothing to worry about with Cardano at the minute. All looking really good. So I can't wait for the new all-time high. We've also been calling for a rally before the Alonzo hard fork, so I expect that this could have been the correction that we needed to see. And yes, there are always people commenting that Cardano can go to 120. Look, some of this can happen anytime. Honestly, in the crypto space, anything can happen. That is why we always need to be aware of these things. Also, what I want to show you, and I talked about that, we are currently in the greed phase. And there's always a phase where we have to expect some drop, really, anytime really. That's why I only invest what I can lose anyway, and because I do that, I'm not that emotionally attached to any trades, and I think that is very important. Sometimes some comments are very negative, very emotional, but honestly, people need to, finance and emotions, and not good, and not a good combination. But hopefully these are really good news, and it seems to go really well at the moment. So good news in the morning. Hope you liked it. If you did, please smash the like button, and if you want to subscribe, please do so. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the update video later today. Bye.